Hey, welcome to Postpartum Reframed, your guide to biblical joy. On this podcast, I'll discuss about the who, what, why, and hows of cultivating and practicing biblical joy in the first year of postpartum. I'm your host, Kendall. I'm a wife and mama to 4 amazing children who you may hear in the background sometimes of this podcast. By the grace of God, I have overcome postpartum depression, rage, and anxiety by daily leaning into the strength that comes purely from His joy. Now I'm passionate about helping other moms do the same so that even in the hard moments of postpartum, it can still be seen as a joy-filled experience. This podcast is available on YouTube as well as various podcast players. You can find the full show notes in the description of anywhere that you are listening, and if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Now let's dive into today's episode. Today I am talking about 3 steps to either prepare for or start your postpartum healing and how to cultivate biblical joy through this. But first, I know that whether you're preparing for postpartum or you're already in the postpartum period, it can be hard to know where to even begin when it comes to laying the foundation and keeping that foundation for biblical joy. That's exactly why I put together a free postpartum mini reset. It's a quick 3-minute or less audio note sent straight to your email for 3 days, giving you one tiny actionable step for that day. So if you're ready to build roots in order to still have joy despite any hard moments of the postpartum period, the link is in the show notes for you. So in this episode, I'm going to give some very practical tips for healing, but every single one of these is going to contribute to being able to cultivate biblical joy and a home where joy is felt when anyone walks through the door. Also, keep in mind I am not a trained nutritionist. This is simply based on my experience and the experience of others that I've read. I've read a couple hundred other experiences, but please keep in mind this is not a formula and every body is different. So what one person needs more or less of may be completely different from what your specific body needs more or less of. Now, with all of that said, the first step to postpartum healing is hydration and quality electrolytes. This can just be water, but it can also be other hydrating fluids. And when drinking water, it's important to add electrolytes to replace any minerals that you have lost and for you to be hydrated at a cellular level. You can do 1 to 2 servings of electrolytes a day. You can try to have more, but typically what I've heard from others is any more than 2 servings tends to be too much. But you'll know if you had too much because you'll get diarrhea. So you can't overdose or anything like that. You'll just get diarrhea and be uncomfortable for a little bit. The next step is prioritizing nutrition. This may look a little different for everyone because, again, every body is different. But in general, having meals and snacks that are high in protein and healthy fats are going to give your body the fuel and clarity it needs to give you energy, brain power, and to support your hormones. Fat intake is especially important and should be between equal up to 3 times the amount of protein consumed in a day because this plays an even more important role in hormone and brain health than protein does. And you don't have to track all of this unless you really want to, but this can be as simple as cooking your eggs in grass-fed butter, eating a meal with ground beef without draining the fat because animal fat is actually good for you, using tallow to cook ground beef in, eating avocado with your meals, and so on. There are several ways to include healthy fats. You just have to see what you like most and what your body likes most. In addition to eating nourishing meals, continuing to take the vitamins or supplements you are taking during pregnancy, along with probiotics in some form, are also important. Just to make sure you're not missing anything and you're supporting your gut health. This is a whole other discussion, but it is so crucial to support your gut health because without supporting your gut health, then your hormones won't be supported either. And if your hormones aren't supported, it can make the postpartum period so much harder than it has to be. And then lastly, rest, sunshine, grounding, diaphragmatic breathing for pelvic floor health and to help any ab separation, and walking as you get further postpartum will all help in the postpartum healing. For sunshine, try to get direct sunlight within the first hour of waking, and it only needs to be about 15 minutes. So it doesn't have to be like the super long, drawn out thing. It can be super short. And then for grounding, there's different parts of the day that give you different benefits. So for morning time, that helps with energy, regulating your circadian rhythm, and setting a calm tone for the day. Midday for focus and reducing stress. And evening is for better sleep and recovery. And then for walking, this ideally should be pretty minimal in the first few weeks postpartum because you really want to focus on rest. So please don't try to go on like a mile walk shortly after giving birth, even if you feel amazing. Communicate with your midwife or OB and work your way up to walking around more as you heal. Well, thank you so much for listening to the Postpartum Reframed podcast today. If this helped, encouraged you, or you have a question, please take a few moments to comment, leave a review, or share it with another mama who could benefit from this type of content. Let's create a world where women can have a joy-filled postpartum together. And if you're ready to move from survival mode to biblical joy today, click the link in the show notes to grab my free 3-day mini reset, Reframing Postpartum. It's designed to help you shift your perspective and find peace in just 3 days. You'll also join our email community for weekly encouragement every Tuesday. I'll see you next Friday.